Oops, sorry, I was muted. I got to tell you, these last couple days, the internet has been trying so hard to turn me from a Tua skeptic into a Tua fan. Oh, it is. It is a Thursday episode of Donno Daily here on the Five Reasons Sports Network. I am Alex Donno with you for the next hour or so. We're going to have some fun talking a little Dolphins off season. We do have the schedule release coming out tonight. We are going to talk some Miami Heat. Got game 6 tonight. This, what is he saying? This video is the gift of comedy gold on Twitter. Oh, he's talking about the Tua underthrow. I've got some thoughts on that. Oh, believe me, I have some thoughts on that. We got the full schedule released tonight. I think Alfredo Arteaga said it best that Roger Goodell and the NFL, and Goodell has taken it to another level with some of this stuff. How the NFL can find a way to make the most meaningless, trivial stuff feel like a really big deal to their fans, right? Like, we've known, I think, for months, the Dolphins' opponents for next year, like all of the opponents for next year. And every team has known their opponents now for a couple of months, I think. But tonight, we're actually going to get the dates, right? What do we have week 1? I've seen, I don't know if it was a reliable leak or whatever, but I've seen week 1 might be the Buffalo Bills on September 11th. I've heard it reported that the Dolphins are going to get a Monday night game, possibly a Sunday night game. The best schedule leak that I saw so far was some dude on Twitter saying, NFL schedule leak, the Miami Dolphins will face the Los Angeles Rams in the Super Bowl on February, whatever. That was funny. That was well done. But it's crazy that the NFL, and they do a TV special and everything for this, even though by the time that actually airs tonight, most of the dates will have been leaked, but that only increases the anticipation. Like, that only gets more and more people into it. That the NFL has found a way to make it must-see TV and must-see interactions on social media all week this week and all day today, just about what date your team is going to play other teams. And like I tweeted something about it today, how like, I already know the opponents. I really don't care like to make such a big deal out of like what's going to be week 1, what's going to be week 7, what's going to be week 13. Like it doesn't really mean a lot to me. And then a bunch of people responded to me, and I get where they're coming from, talking about taking road trips. Dolphin fans who either they like to travel to a couple of road games every year, or Dolphin fans from other places want to figure out which home games they're going to travel down here to. That's all fine and good. Still, though, the fact that the NFL has turned it into like a must-see TV event is still crazy to me because, people can talk to me all they want to about, I need to know when to book my flights and hotels. The NFL could have just released the schedules kind of quietly whenever they have them done. Like it's still impressive the way that they turn this into an event, right? David says it's not must-see TV. It's clearly not for you. It's not for me either. I've never actually like tuned in to the unveiling. When the schedule comes out, I read it off of Twitter or I go to, my favorite news sites, NFL Dolphins news sites, and I read about it there. You're clearly not the guy, David, who watches the TV coverage for that. I'm not the type of guy who does that either, but there are people who do it. And I see the way people are talking about it. And like, okay, if you're looking to plan your road trips around it, maybe you're really excited to see the unveiling. Dear God, I looked at my crypto and stock portfolios this morning. Safe to say no road trips for me. Not anytime soon. I can't afford home games either right now. We need those markets to go. We need those thumbs and those markets to go this way, as Cam Cameron would say. Big Dan 305. And yeah, he falls into this category. And I know my guy Big Dan, I love living vicariously through Big Dan during Hurricanes football season because dude goes on every road trip. He and his lovely wife go on every road trip, I think. I mean, do you guys ever miss a road game, Big Dan? Because it seemed it was just great. Power to you. I hope you don't have all your money in the crypto markets like I do. Power to you if you go on every road trip, because it seems like you do, because I follow your tweets and you're always out there live with the Canes, and that is awesome. But yeah, he even says it there. I'm still on the Cold War era laptop, guys. That's why I didn't even read the second half of his message. I know it's all one line, but I'm still on the Cold War era laptop where the print is tiny. I took my laptop 11 days ago to the Apple store. They told me 3 to 5 days worth of repairs, 11 days and counting. They're ordering some part. I think they're ordering the new battery. And for some reason, the new battery's not there. They'll probably blame Vladimir Putin or supply chain stuff. It's just Vladimir Putin. He no have battery. I'm pretty sure the battery is probably on a boat from Shanghai right now. But that's what I'm dealing with here. So I am on the original laptop. I am on such an old laptop. It's a miracle that I'm still on. Let's see what Concerned Citizen says. So, are we here to discuss Tua's shortcoming, or should I say his underthrows seem to do that a lot? With all this speed, he's a great kid. I just wonder if he's got the arm to throw his receivers open. All right, so yeah, that's I titled the episode about the Tua underthrow. Um, I just find it funny that it's turned into this big of a deal. So the Miami Dolphins tweeted out a clip, and this is one of those things. If I wasn't on the Cold War laptop, I would screen share and I'd play the clip, even though you've probably all seen it by now. It would be nice to play it. I tried to screen share the other day and the computer almost crashed. So I cannot screen share the clip of Tua underthrowing Tyreek Hill in practice. First of all, it's mid-May. Okay, I'm not really concerned about what they're working on. I don't know the context of what they were working on out there. The camera work was weird. It's like the Zapruder film, the way people are trying to break it down. Well, as you can see, there was a second thrower on the grassy knoll. Teddy Bridgewater was on the grassy knoll. He was the one who threw the ball that wound up in the hands of Tyreek Hill. Now, the jokes write itself, right? The jokes write themselves, I should say, because you've got a quarterback that people around the NFL, even a lot of Dolphins fans, claim he's got no arm, noodle arm, underthrowing. That's been a meme since the Dolphins acquired Tyreek Hill in the first place. It has been a meme. He's just going to get underthrown by Tua left and right. So I thought that video clip coming out and actually coming out from the Miami Dolphins, is somebody within the organization intentionally trolling their quarterback, or is that just an incredible lack of self-awareness, or maybe an incredible lack of football understanding? Because maybe the person who actually, and I don't know, honestly, I have no idea who is or was managing their social media. So maybe the person who does that just doesn't really know football and is like, oh, this is great. I've got Tua throwing it to Tyreek Hill. Everyone's going to love this. Let me tweet this out for the world to see what he underthrew him. It's a bad look, okay? It is a bad look to tweet that out. It does not change my opinion. And you guys know I'm already skeptical, but that throw, I'm not using it to troll Tua or the Dolphins or anybody, because again, like, when you're out there working out on like May 10th or 11th, this happened. Why would I care? Like, why would I care? And also, kind of reminds me of a lot of the throws last couple of years that Patrick Mahomes was actually completing to Tyreek Hill in games that turned into big games and even touchdowns. So, listen, underthrows and underthrows in OTAs in May are going to happen. I just thought it was incredible how somebody decided that would be a good hype video to send out, and let me hit send on this one. Now, at the same time, this was going around on Twitter yesterday. I hope this isn't real, or I hope this is completely unrelated to that situation. I saw a couple people tweeting out like there's now a job opening for Dolphins social media manager or digital manager. And so, of course, that's a whole nother joke is, oh my God, the person who sent that out got fired and now the job is open. I hope that's not the case, bro. I mean, I doubt that's the case. That's probably just a weird coincidence or something. But yeah, listen, I know it turned into a big meme. Hey, on the good side, that video's got probably what, like 6 or 7 million views by now. That video of the underthrow, it's engagement, social media. That's what people are after, right? No publicity is bad publicity. You just get clicks, impressions, all that good stuff. David says, "Where was the music? Hype videos need music." Well, wasn't a very good hype video to begin with. What music would they play? The Benny Hill music, like something like clown music. Would they play for a throw like that? Let's see who else. Concerned citizen says maybe Tua should release the ball sooner and let this speed chase the ball down. But here's the thing, like, um, that may be something that they're working on in May that's actually going to click in September. So, like, again, if this was happening in training camp or in August, or if this was happening in like a midweek practice in October and like he's still underthrowing Tyreek Hill, then it becomes a problem. But I mean, these guys practically just met. Okay. So I can give them a little bit of time to develop that chemistry. Jose says, this is like Iverson practice. We talk about practice, not the game, but practice. Well, and honestly, that leads me to the question of the whole thing was funny. Okay. I've had a lot of fun just watching other people tweet about that video over the last couple of days. I've made a few snide remarks here and there, but I'm not really taking the bait because it's low hanging fruit. Like it honestly is low hanging fruit. But does anyone on the internet outside of the people who already hate Tua and are just using different clips just to troll the guy, like, does anybody's opinion of him honestly get changed by that video? Or is this has just become something that the people who already think Tua sucks and is hopeless are like, see, you see that? Just confirmation bias. And then the people on the other side who love Tua unconditionally are like, how dare you? Is Brian Flores running the Dolphins' Twitter? How do we let this get out? That will never happen again. So, this is like politics, religion, anything else, right? Sports can be like politics and religion sometimes. You divide people. It can become a great divide. But I think as far as like any casual observer, anyone who's on the middle with Tua is not going to watch that and say, oh, yeah, oh, I thought that guy was good, but he sucks. He's terrible. Oh, Tyreek Hill. Tyreek should have never signed there. How's this guy going to throw you the football? He's going to underthrow you on every single play. Like, I don't think any opinions are actually changed on that. In fact, I got to tell you, this is putting me in a weird position where I'm actually starting to develop a little extra sympathy for the Tua people. Okay. Like I'm not a hater, nor am I a fanboy. I'm one of the very rare individuals who kind of falls in the middle, and I pick my spots. I'm very skeptical though of Tua. But listen, they're putting so many weapons around the guy. If there's ever a time to take it to another level, this year and the next couple of years is going to be that time. But some of these narratives, man, they're trying to pull me over. Like they are trying to pull me over into the camp of people who just start defending the guy. Like uh, Alfredo Arteaga, I think I referenced one of his tweets earlier. I feel like he's kind of in that camp. Like he's rational on Tua. He can be a little bit overly bullish on Tua sometimes, but he finds himself in this position on Twitter where when some of just the lunatics who just pick apart every single thing about that guy start making these unreasonable, unfair, and sometimes just factually incorrect criticisms, Alf usually comes out and, points out how I saw Alf getting into it with Pat McAfee the other day because Pat McAfee on his show earlier this week referenced Tua getting benched, quote, a bunch of times. And then Alf, being a stickler for the details, was replying to McAfee on Twitter. He's like, Pat, literally happened 2 times when he was a rookie, not a bunch of times. And then McAfee even came out. He's like, my bad. So Alfredo will defend the honor of Tua Tagovailoa. Oh, man. Oh, Nicole, thank you for coming in. What's up? Glad I get you live. Hope all is fine. All is well. All is well. And so in the next few minutes, we're going to be talking with Big John Stud, who's, I'm sure he's been enjoying this the last couple of days. I think later we're going to be talking with Hussam Patel. The thing we all know, Hussam is a little bit of a diva. Okay, like Hussam tries to set his own schedule on my show, so it's like I may have to wrap up this masterpiece at around 2:45, 2:50 today. And then Hussam he's getting boosted today. So he's like, "Oh, I'm getting boosted. Maybe I'll come on at 2:45." I'm like, "No, you need to get on early. If you come on at 2:45, I'm going to say hello and goodbye." So I don't know if we're going to see Hussam today. If we do see him, he's probably going to be eating some delicious food because he usually always eats when he's on with me. So we're going to see that. Jason Myers writes in, Tua lobbed the ball. It was a practice type throw. So stupid to overreact to a single pass. Not even practice or anything. Yeah, honestly, Jason, that's where I'm at, bro. I don't know if you just came on or if you're commenting on what I've already said. That's where I'm at. Like some of the people using that as like ammunition for, oh, this guy's terrible. It's ridiculous. Now they really shouldn't have tweeted out that throw to begin with, because that's not the type of play where you're like, this is the clip we need to showcase our quarterback number one wide receiver connection. Like, you either just don't tweet that out or look for another throw you can send out. So it was a little bit of a lack of self-awareness there. Nicole writes in, as a Finn fan, we should be used to Tua underthrowing or overthrowing players. Just say one more year. Positive note, that was a duck. I love how Nicole, whenever we see Nicole in here live, she's usually trolling Tua a little bit, and I enjoy the rhetoric. Dougie Fresh says, Donno, what's the over under that Big John's internet? It's like he's at the public library. I had a conversation with Big John Stud yesterday, and what he told me was, and I don't know if our guy Chris from the Finns Tailgate, if he's watching right now, he's sometimes watching us live, but he told me that like recently, I think the story went, Chris was over at Big John's house and the two of them sorted it out. Like, they tested out his StreamYard, which is the program that we do these live broadcasts through. Like, they tested out his StreamYard. They identified the issue. They corrected the issue, and he doesn't have any more lag. That's what I was told. I was told that the lag issue is a thing of the past, and he's no longer on public library internet. He's upgraded from public library internet to North Korean internet, probably something like that. I don't, you know what? The internet in North Korea is probably pretty fast because I think a lot of people there don't have computers and they only have 28 websites they can access. So there's probably not a whole lot of web traffic. So the internet in North Korea might be incredibly fast. Well, it's probably dial up still over there. Probably still dial up. I know somebody, hold on, early on. Indade mentioned this. Jonathan Huberto is not a finalist for the Hart Trophy. Disrespect. That is disrespect. I thought he should be one of the Hart Trophy favorites. Not even a finalist? Not even a Oh, yesterday just reminded me. Oh, Shake Money. Why are you invisible? I'm invisible. What did you say something and I didn't see you there, Shake? I don't even know. Alex M says, I don't remember the last time I was in a public library. I am glad that public libraries still exist because I've taken my son to one a couple of times, not often, but a couple of times, because they do like some story time readings there, and children's books can be kind of expensive, like when you buy them at bookstores. And like, you think about it, when you buy children's books at like Barnes and Noble or Amazon, like you're paying good money for like a book with like 30 words in it and a bunch of pictures that your kid is going to outgrow in like a year or less. It's a waste of money. So going to the public library, that's actually it's a good life hack for parents, right? Because listen, maybe if you're a bookworm grown up and you feel strongly about owning books and you want to get the latest hardbacks and shit, then like, okay, by all means, buy your books. And I'm not going to say we've never bought books for my son, because we have, but it's nice to be able to go to the public library and just get books for free. Right. And even if you like forget to turn them in, the fine is like 50 cents. Like, if that does happen. So it's nice for little kids to have a public library. And yeah, like Shake says, there's nothing like a physical copy of a book. I used to feel that way. I have over the last couple of years. And listen, I'm not going to claim I read a whole lot, but I read from time to time, usually on like airplanes and trips and stuff. Um, I have graduated to ebooks just because I don't know, it's just easier. Like you think about, oh, here's a book I want to read, 3 clicks and it's yours. It's just one of those things. Oh, Doug says, I'm a librarian for a university, though, not a public library, but public libraries still rock. I'm glad they're still around because that's one of those things. 5, 10, 15 years down the road, I mean, I hate to say it with a librarian present, so do not be offended by this, Doug. But a decade from now, would anyone be surprised if public libraries don't exist anymore? I'd hate it. Now, maybe Doug would be okay because he's at a university library, but I would hate it if they weren't around anymore. But would anyone be surprised if a decade from now, there's no more public libraries? Jason says, well, he caught a rookie record amount of Jalen Waddle. He's talking about passes. So I'm sure a few were underthrown. Wow, what a petty thing to bring up. How about all the ones that were on the money? I have seen this show, Alex. He says libraries remind me of the show You. That's a pretty good show, like the weird stalker serial killer guy. First season was really good. Second season was all right. I tried to watch the third season. A couple episodes in, I sort of lost interest and moved on to something else. If I'm being honest, I don't know. I lost interest in it after a while. But no, what I was saying before we got into public library talk was, so yesterday was an unbelievable day and night for me as a sports fan. I'll start with what probably a lot of the rest of you were watching. At least I hope you were. Bro, the Florida Panthers. Quit playing games with my heart. You go down 3-0 in that game against the Capitals. And, if you go down 3-2 in the series, that's a predicament, right? Like 3-1 would have been a tragedy. 3-2 is a predicament. Being up 3-2 is very nice because you still have another home game left. You may end up closing out the series in 7, but Panthers are down 3-0 and they end up winning the game 5-3, 5 unanswered goals. The cardiac cats. And yeah, Jonathan Huberdeau probably deserves to be a Hart Trophy candidate, if not the Hart Trophy winner. But that was incredible. I am an Inter Milan fan. I don't know if our guy Tony 2 times is in here right now. He is a fellow Interista. He's in the live chat pretty often. So, and then yesterday afternoon, late afternoon, I'm watching Inter against Juventus. They despise each other in the Coppa Italia final. And Inter were down 2-1 in the second half. They came back to win it 4-2 in extra time. And so that was pulling on my heartstrings, blood pressure, medication, palpitations through the roof. Then I get a couple of hours break, and then the Panthers pull on my heartstrings all over again. It was absolutely insane, man. All right, so what we're looking at tonight for Heat Sixers, 7:00 start, be advised, because they kind of been toggling back and forth between like the 7 and 7:30 start times. They're back in Philly for game 6, 7:00, have your TVs on bright and early. Tip-off is probably going to be a few minutes after 7, but it's a 7:00 start time tonight. The Sixers are favored by 2 tonight. Philly -2, Heat +2. Now, at the risk of sounding like a mush, I have already placed a wager at betus.com of Miami Heat +2 for that game. I think Jimmy Butler's going to dominate again. Now, Jimmy, 23 points, had a very solid night in the ass whooping that the Heat put on the 76ers in game, game 5. 35-point victory. Jimmy was unstoppable, would have scored more than 23 points, but services were not needed for most of the fourth quarter because the Heat were up so comfortably. He's been arguably the best player in the entire NBA postseason. That's how good Jimmy Butler's been. That's how good he's been. He's been arguably the best player in the playoffs to this point. I feel both great and uneasy about that at the same time. I feel great about it because Jimmy is our guy. Playoff Jimmy is on. He's, what does he say, stupidly locked in? That's what Jimmy is right now. He's a man on a mission. He's playing great. He's dominating. But I also, and it was obviously was better in game 5. Games 3 and 4 were nightmares where really only Jimmy was contributing and everybody else was lacking. But I don't want to be dependent on one guy, right? Because that's not what got the Heat here. The Heat didn't get to this point, number 1 seed, by Jimmy carrying the team on their back. The Heat got here by everybody carrying each other. Synergy, all the links of the chain were strong. So we need to find a way to keep them consistently strong because for the most part, they've been strong at home. Like Max Strus put in a hell of a performance. We've seen some very good from Bam. Tyler Hero played a lot better in Game 5. Victor Oladipo has had some great moments in this postseason so far. Like we're seeing other guys step up at home from time to time, but just not consistently. So I'm so glad Jimmy's playing well. I don't want to need Jimmy to have to play this well every night. But I was watching or listening to Five on the Floor from last night, and our guy Ethan, he's all about the narratives. He gets very upset when the narrative he wants is not out there. But I think he raised a good point this time. Nobody's really outside of Miami. Nobody's really talking about how well Jimmy is playing. You notice that, right? Like Jimmy is putting up, elite playoff numbers and taking over games. The Heat are just one victory away from knocking out one of these media darling teams because, let's be real here. Most people want Philly to knock the Heat out of the playoffs, except for Stephen A. Smith, because Stephen A. wants to come to Miami for the NBA Finals because he travels to that every year. But most people outside of the Tri-County area down here want the Sixers, not the Heat, to advance. And still every day you turn on ESPN, turn on Fox Sports 1. It's James Harden this, James Harden that. Joel Embiid this, Joel Embiid back. Like I was watching, I don't know, what was it on ESPN this morning? I think I was watching Get Up, and they had one of the NBA players, the former NBA players on the panel, and he was talking about how, oh no, Philly's going to dominate tonight, and they're going to swing the momentum back in their favor in the series this evening. Okay, keep talking about that. Keep talking about that. I hopefully the Heat can finally get in this series that road victory. Nobody's won on the road yet in this series, and the Heat can make a statement here tonight. If they don't win it tonight, I'm very confident they win it in 7 because I just don't see the Sixers beating Miami in South Florida. They've looked like a completely different team. Our building versus their building, they look like and there's a lot bigger difference between Philly at home on the road than Heat on the road or at home, right? Because the Heat have looked dominant at home. They've been competitive on the road because, again, how many wide open looks did they just miss on the road? Like shots that would usually fall. So it's not like they were getting completely outmuscled, completely run out of the building. Like they had opportunities to win those games in Philly, especially game 4. So it's not like there's been this huge disparity, right? But when the Sixers are down here at FTX Arena, there's no energy, none whatsoever. I mean, you consider how James Harden, who had a vintage performance in game 4 in Philly, 31 points, how good he looked game 4, and then just how much he dropped off in game 5. Joel Embiid, same thing. I mean, Joel Embiid played so well coming off the injuries. He's still injured, but coming back from those injuries in games 3 and 4 in Philly, comes down here, he's a minus 29. His worst playoff plus minus in his career to this point. How much different he looked down here versus up there. So I'm giving the Heat a shot. And it's why I bet Heat plus 2 tonight, minus 110. I could, if I really had guts, I could have taken Heat on the money line at like plus 115 or something like that. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking, guys, if you're looking to make a wager on that or any other sporting event going on this evening into tomorrow, I cannot recommend highly enough the official sports book of Donno Daily, betus.com. BetUS is a full-service online sports book fully available in Florida. Money lines, spreads, props, live betting on all of it. Even if you forget to place a wager when the game tips off, you can still bet during the game. The lines are updated dynamically while the game is going on. So, and listen, some of the real pros out there actually prefer to live bet because they think, hey, I don't really have a good handle on this one, but then, I'm going to see how the game kind of starts, and then I'm going to place wagers during the game. That works really well for some people. I've lived and died by that sword. So live betting can be a lot of fun. They also have a full service casino right there on the site. And most importantly, we have your hookup. Because if you sign up for betus.com with our code 5RSN125, they're going to give you a 125% sign up bonus. 5RSN125 is our code. They give you 125% sign up bonus with your first deposits. If you deposit $100, they give you $125 of free play money right on top of your deposit. You bet, you win, you get paid. betus.com. Let me see. Robester says, I need a sports book in Maryland. Anyone know a legal one? I don't know Maryland's laws. You can try BetUS there. It works in Florida. Like if I've said this before, if you're in a state that does not allow betus.com, they're gonna tell you on the site. Like it happened to a friend of mine about a year ago. She lives in New York State, and like she tried to sign up. It's like, this is not available in your location. She looked up the laws. Oh, it's against the law here. So you might want to check. Like they're going to tell, like they're not going to let you deposit if you can't use it in Maryland. So if you want to try it, it may be worth a shot. Otherwise, I don't know like what your if you have any Native American casinos nearby. Actually, a lot of them don't have sports books anyway. It's tough, man, because it's one of those things from state to state. Everything is different. Everything is different there. Oh, Alex M says I've mushed the Heat. I have won more bets than I've lost on the Heat in these playoffs. I think I haven't bet every single game. I think I've won probably 4 bets and lost about 2. So I'm doing pretty well there so far. Doing pretty well. Let's see what Concerned Citizen says. Haven't seen any of the Heat's games. Hope they finish strong. No cable, miss a lot. Ooh, yeah, it's tough with the no cable thing. There are ways around it. I don't know if I should be discussing that here though, because the Illuminati are always watching. I do not want to say anything out of turn, but if you look hard enough, you may be able to find alternative means. Larry says, Donno, who would you rather face, Bucks or Celtics? Now, let me first say the opportunity to knock either of those franchises out of the playoffs is something that I would cherish, right? Both would be very tough series, but I despise everything to come out of Boston outside of Lobster Roll and Mark Wahlberg, who's a national treasure. Everything else that's ever come out of Boston, I hate it. Hate the Patriots. Hate the Celtics. Paul Revere is overrated. I do not like anything namely Boston sports. Despise the Red Sox. I'm not a fan. Boston fans are always chirping. So I'd love the opportunity to knock them out of the playoffs. And the Bucks, same thing. Tough series, but the Bucks clowned us last year. So getting a little payback, and we clowned them the year before that in the bubble. So getting a little payback and settling a score would be nice. As far as who would I rather face, I would rather face the team that does not have Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think that's fair, right? Because Boston's got some dogs, but with the way Jimmy is playing, like I could make a case in a Boston Miami series that, hey, Jimmy Butler is probably the best player in the series. I couldn't make that case in a Milwaukee Miami series because Giannis is arguably the best player in the world, depending on who you talk to. So I'm gonna say I would rather face the Celtics, and it would be equally sweet, right? Because I definitely know more Celtics fans than I know Milwaukee fans. I can only actually think of 2 Bucks fans that I know personally. My buddy Frank Crivello, who hosts the Serie A Sit Down podcast, he lives in Milwaukee. He was talking mad trash to me after that sweep last year. So I And also he talks mad trash to me all the time because I'm an Inter Milan supporter. He's an AC Milan supporter. So we're rivals on that. We're rivals on Heat Bucks. But I think that's the only guy that I know who supports the Milwaukee Bucks. But I know plenty of loser Celtics fans. So I would love to give them some misery. I would love to. Yeah, Mark, national treasure, that guy. I think the only performance of Marky Mark that I thought was a little overrated was, and I liked the movie, but you remember Mark Wahlberg in The Fighter as Mickey Ward? I just thought his performance got overshadowed so much by Christian Bale as Dick Eklund, the brother, and I kind of thought Mark was like it was just Mark Wall. Like I couldn't picture like, oh yeah, that I'm watching Mickey Ward on the screen. I'm just watching Mark Wahlberg. That's what I felt like in the movie. Whereas Christian Bale in that he transformed into Dick Eklund. Insane, insane. And may he rest in peace. A man that used to be a mentor of mine, and I used to work for him. Former boxing Olympic gold medalist Howard Davis Jr. He passed away a few years back. Taken from us way too young. I think he was in his 50s, but he knew all these guys personally, right? From being one of the best amateur boxers of all time, former pro boxer. Like he personally knew Mickey Ward and Dick Eklund. And I can remember Howard telling me, he's like, yeah, Wahlberg didn't do anything for me. But when Howard was watching that film, he was like, it was uncanny. Like I felt like I was actually watching Dick Eklund on screen in that movie. Like that was like the one time where I'm like, Mark Wahlberg, you should have done better. It's not a very good Mickey Ward. I like Mark Wahlberg in some of like the stupid movies he's been in. You ever see him in The Other Guys with Will Ferrell? You ever do a desk pop? And did you ever see him? I argue with people all the time who think that this movie was terrible. The first one, I thought it was very enjoyable. Daddy's Home, another one with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell, where like Will Ferrell was the stepdad, and then Mark Wahlberg was like the cool actual biological dad of the kids, and then he comes over, he's trying to win the ex-wife back. I thought that movie was brilliant. Admittedly, very stupid movie, but I thought it was brilliant. The sequel, not so much. They tried to make like John Cena was like a huge character, and the sequel didn't work for me so much, but the original one worked. Yeah, but like Blake agrees with me. The Other Guys is goated. Oh man. Oh, and Concerned Citizen, by the way, I couldn't say too much about the whole cable thing, but he says, I hear you, Dono. Old school here, still learning all this techno crap. Listen, I'm not good with that stuff either. I'm just saying, if you look hard enough, there are things you can do. Oh, Alex M. I've never had Wahlburgers. That's Mark Wahlberg's burger joint. He says Five Guys is better. I can't compare it. I've never had Wahlburgers. I think Five Guys a little too greasy for me. I think their fries are goated though. Five Guys fries are fantastic. The actual burgers are a little heavy on the grease, but I do like them. Oh, another good one with Mark Wahlberg. Ted. Ted was hilarious. Seth MacFarlane doing the voice for the teddy bear. That was a good. So some of his. What was this one, David? I don't think I saw this one. The Peacock movie. I don't. I'm drawing a blank on that. I'm drawing a. It's probably like the dumbest thing in the world that I can't remember, but I'm drawing a blank on that. Oh, hello, Chris. The Finn's tailgate. He says, "What's happening, Dono? Hit that like button, everyone. Yes, smash the like button, and make sure you subscribe to the 5 Reasons Sports Network." All right, let's see. Hold on. I want to pull up that banner so you guys can see exactly what to do. Yeah, this will help you out. Smash the like button and make sure you subscribe to 5 Reasons Sports. How we feeling now, by the way, Heat and Panthers getting through their series? Let me give you a percentage of my confidence level. 2 teams up 3-2 in their best of sevens. Miami going to Philly tonight to try and shut the door. Florida Panthers are going to go to our nation's capital probably tomorrow night, right? Is the next game last night and then tomorrow night. They will try and shut the door up 3-2 in Washington. my confidence level right now on a scale of 0 to 100, my percentage of confidence in the Miami Heat, I am at a 92%. I think there is a chance the Heat get it done tonight, but if they don't, I would be shocked if they lose game 7 at home because Philly has looked like a shell of their former selves when they play in FTX Arena. Okay, Hussam's going to be here in 5 minutes. I will wait for him. I cannot guarantee you, Hussam, that I will stay on very long with you, but I will wait for you. We'll do like 5-10 minutes. We'll have some fun. We'll have a little fun. So 92% my confidence level in the Miami Heat. On the Florida Panthers, I'm at like a 70%, which is, listen, you'll take it because, you know, halfway into that game yesterday, I was at like a 4%. So to be at a 70%, that's a big time improvement. So like they probably will lose game 6 in DC, and then it's going to come down to game 7. And historical confidence is not there because they haven't been out of the first round in almost 30 years. It was in 1996 was the last time they got out of the first round. And just in this series, like you can't just come back every night. I know they did it in the regular season, but sluggish starts and even sometimes unlucky starts because they had a goal. I hadn't turned it on quite yet at this point yesterday. I think they had a goal overturned that probably shouldn't have been overturned yesterday. So the officials haven't done them any favors, but you know, the Panthers they've been doing this all throughout the regular season. And the regular season, that's all fine and good. You're down 2-3 goals, you come back and win over and over and over again. It makes the fans happy. In the playoffs, you're playing with fire with some of that stuff. So I'm a little bit more concerned because I think that series is, I think probably both of these series go 7, but then the Heat, I'm almost at 100%. The Panthers, not as much because anything can happen. And hockey's just a little bit more random anyway. Because like in the NBA, the cream usually rises to the top, right? In hockey, there's so many more variables, puck luck, goaltending is hot or cold in a certain night. There's just so many more things that can go wrong. So many more things that can be random in a hockey game. So I'm at a 70% with the Panthers. I'm at about a 92% with the Heat. You know, going back to when both series were tied at 2, I was probably more like a 50-50 on the Panthers and maybe like a 70 on the Heat, something like that. Oh, that's what it was. In The Other Guys, Mark Wahlberg said he was a peacock. That's what it was. I forgot. I knew it was something like, why am I missing this here? I'm like, the Peacock movie. Okay, I remember one of the funniest things about that movie, The Other Guys, was this was played off so brilliant in the movie. Will Ferrell's character in the movie, who was like a dorky, dopey type of guy, people at work just walk all over him. He was married in the movie to Eva Mendes, you know, super hot in the movie. And like he was like the man at home. Like he was like talking down to her. She was like, "Oh, I don't deserve you. You're so handsome." And they played it off so well. And then Mark Wahlberg is there. He's like, "What am I missing here?" He's like, "The hottest woman I've ever seen, and she's married to you." And she's like, and she's like trying to get your approval all the time. I thought they played that off so well. And then the whole thing about how Will Ferrell in that movie, yeah, I totally. Eva Mendes, my favorite part. And then they had the whole backstory for Will Ferrell, who's like, when he was like in college, he was a pimp named Gator. Like, Gator, don't play that. I was like, that was so brilliantly done. I swear, that movie is better than some Oscar winners. Like, I'm telling you, better than some Academy Award winners. Alex M writes about the game 6 in Philly. This is the game where Harden usually disappears. That's a valid point. That guy is usually in the playoffs. He's usually in the mud, right? James Harden. I mean, this guy usually shrinks in the biggest possible moments. I think for Philadelphia, I don't expect a whole lot from Harden. They're going to live or die on Joel Embiid, right? I mean, Tyrese Maxey, like they got some players, but I think they're really going to live and die based on Joel Embiid. He's got to dominate. He's got to be the difference. He's got to get us in foul trouble. He's got to dominate the rim. He's got to knock him down at the free throw line. That he's going to be the difference maker tonight. If they don't get a superhuman version of Joel Embiid, I think Philly is going to go down tonight. I think that's what's going to happen. Guys, we got a deal for you with the official daily fantasy sports provider on the 5 Reasons Sports Network, Prize Picks. My friends, promotion extending, I think, for the next couple of days. Sign up at prizepicks.com or on the Prize Picks mobile app. Now, first of all, this is the daily fantasy service we all need to have in our lives, because Prize Picks, it combines my love for daily fantasy and for parlays. There's a lot of fun during the playoffs. You just select 2, 3, or 4 players and predict if they're going to go over or under fantasy sports projections or various stat projections, and you win money, guys. You can win double your money to get 2 correct. You can win 10 times your money if you get 4 predictions correct. Sign up today with our code 5. When you make your first deposit, use our code FIVE and make sure you spell it out, FIVE, and they're going to give you a 100% deposit match up to $100. And here's what I want you to do, because Ethan Skolnick, our CEO, our fearless leader, is offering you something extra. When you sign up with our code 5, take a screenshot and you can send it to me on Twitter. Sneak into my DMs, slide in. My DMs are open. Send me a screenshot on Twitter of you signing up with the code 5, and Ethan's going to send you a 5 Reasons Sports t-shirt. So extra incentive. You get to play daily fantasy on Prize Picks, which is fantastic. You get a 100% deposit match, and you can get a 5 Reasons Sports t-shirt. And you can walk around looking really cool in that t-shirt, I'm telling you. All right, our guy Hussam is here. Let me just get this Prize Picks logo off the screen. He's got the power to let himself, and I didn't even click that. He clicked that.
I don't know about the shirt, because Ethan said he mailed out the shirts, but I still have not received them. This is the second batch.
Did you sign up with our code 5?
Yeah.
Huh. Wow. Well, listen, nobody gets their shirt till Hussam gets it. What are you drinking there?
Pakola. It's a cream soda. It's a Pakistani beverage.
Okay. You think I would like that? Or is that like an acquired taste?
It's sweet.
I don't like anything super sweet. Like people always
it's super sweet.
People always get mad at me when I say this. I've never tried your Pakistani cola. But like, like a lot of like the really, really sweet, like Caribbean and Latin American sodas, the the Jupina and stuff.
Yes.
Those give me they give me a headache. Man. I can't stand them.
Awful. I love Jupina. Jupina.
Materva, Jupina, right in the garbage.
Inca Cola, love it.
I can't drink it. I mean, listen, power to anybody who can. That's on you. I probably like some stuff that other people hate. Like power to you if you like it. It's not for me. And whenever I announce that to people in Miami, they get very mad at me because I can't. I'm not a fan of the Jupina. It's too sweet. It's too sweet for me. Is that a Miami Heat hat?
Heat in 6, baby. Heat in 6. I was listening into your reactions. Just listen, it's not a series until the home team loses. Everybody knows that. Well, this series will be over if Philadelphia loses.
What if we win in 7? Then it's not a series, period?
That, I guess it never was. I guess
that didn't happen.
Didn't happen, man. If that's how the saying goes, it didn't happen.
Do you know who? I only learned that within the last week. Do you know who coined that phrase? Who the first person was to say that?
Not anybody from ESPN.
It was Pat Riley. In 1981, Pat Riley was the one who coined that phrase. A series does not start until someone loses at home. I didn't know that until somebody sent me that earlier this week, I think. I'm like, wow, you learn something new every day, eh?
I guess so. I also learned that Miami plays New England week 1 in Miami and caps the season off in New England. Either caps it off or New Year's Day in New England.
I don't think you understand what Cap. Oh, I guess that is right. Caps. Okay. Okay. I was gonna say caps it off would be the start, but I think you're right. Caps it off is the end. So you were right.
We're
I was
both
about to
wearing
be
caps.
wrong.
Come on, man. I had to. God,
Yeah.
damn,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
It took you a hot second. Took you a
It
hot
did.
second.
It did. So yeah, okay, that's good because I had seen a supposed leak, something about Buffalo in week 1, but I guess that was, and I don't know if that was from anybody reliable. So you're telling
Well,
me New England week 1 at home.
you expect a big game from Buffalo week 1. I'll tell you that.
By the way, do you agree with this? Oh, wait, hold on, not that. That's Shake Money who loves the Gators. I do not. But Alex M says, I'm not familiar with the last good Superman actor. The Twilight guy is a better Batman than Ben Affleck. I thought Pattinson was excellent.
He
Like
was
he's
excellent. I really liked it, dude.
yeah,
I really liked the movie. I
me
watched it
too.
in Atlanta. I not to spoil anything, but like, I mean, if you haven't watched it already, like, just it's on HBO Max. Like, go ahead and watch it. But it does a good job of portraying Batman, his younger self, and the fact that he actually makes mistakes.
Yes. Yeah.
He actually makes mistakes, and we haven't seen like a movie version. Like comically, you read the comics, his younger selves. He has made some mistakes, but it wasn't as amplified. But like this movie amplifies his mistakes, shows again that actions have consequences, and more so the detective side of Batman rather than the flashy superhero high tech things like that we've seen from Nolan's Batman and Ben Affleck's Batman as well.
Yeah. And everything you said was right. So I'm going to add something extra into the mix. I thought something really cool about the Batman was it really showed you how difficult it is to be Batman and Bruce Wayne. Like
Yes.
without spoiling too much, Robert Pattinson, like his character in the movie had a really tough time being Bruce Wayne. Like he's embracing the Batman part of his life where it's like Batman is his true identity and Bruce Wayne is his mask, right? I thought that they made that very, and you kind of watch them like, yeah, you know what? Basically being awake 24/7, getting
Yep.
your ass kicked every night, and then trying to be like a billionaire during the day. It's just not that easy. Like, it's not that easy to be two people at the same time and like not sleep and get your butt kicked every single evening. Like it's
I
tough.
know. I know. I know. And thing is, other thing in the DC universe, Ezra Miller has been like arrested like 20 times over the last 2 3
Has he?
months. Yeah,
I
I'm
didn't even know that.
exaggerating, but he's been arrested like a couple times.
What is he? What has he done? I've
I,
not followed
I,
this at all.
I don't even know, but like it's looking like the Flash movie's just going more back and back and back. And my favorite DC hero is the Flash, actually, and I actually want to see a decent movie for the Flash. I think he did an all right job portraying it in Justice League. Really, really like the Snyder cut, but it was
I liked it. I
it
didn't love
was
it, but
ruined for
I
me
just
because I already saw
yeah, yeah.
the Joss Whedon one. I was like,
Yeah, it was bad. The Joss Whedon one was terrible.
Snyder cut one was good for some scenes, but dude,
Yeah,
just that scene of the Flash going back in time,
that was
and
good. Yeah.
that was good. Won an Oscar for VFX as well.
I don't
And
understand. Like, what is he doing to get arrested? Like,
this one was in Hawaii,
yeah.
and I'm reading he basically he like assaulted a couple of women, threw chairs at them, trying to
Wow.
choke. He's
What the hell?
you know.
Just honestly, like rich, famous people should never be arrested. Like, there's no excuse for it, right? Because you don't have any real needs. Like, you got money. He's got flash money. He's been in other movies. Like, there's no need to do anything illegal. Like, there's no need for it. I don't understand. Like, yeah, I can understand why. I'm not excusing it, but I can understand why certain people commit certain crimes. Ezra Miller should not be doing anything illegal ever.
Well, have you heard about the Rico stuff with the Young Gunna and Young Thug and Gunna?
Yeah, I was having to, given I'm of Italian heritage and I've watched many mob movies, I've had to
Mm.
explain Rico to a few people in the last couple days, but I didn't even know that it was over young. I don't who or what is a young gun? I don't know what that is.
Young Thug and Gunner, just rappers, just affiliated with some group who is affiliated with a gang as well. Just
Okay.
combine those together, you're gonna have racketeering charges. You're
Okay.
Italian, you
Okay.
know it. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
anything
Listen,
you're
I've
connected
been
to.
dodging Rico predicates my entire life. I know what it's about.
Yeah, exactly. Have you talked about the underthrow?
Yeah, we started off with that, where basically my take, Hussam, is, um, it's mid-May practice. Who cares? I just think like, how does that get tweeted? Like, how does somebody who's got the control of the official Dolphins account think this is what I want to put out there for the like? You've got to know your audience. Like, you've got to know it's going to be a meme, right? Or
They should
is it?
hire me. They should hire me
They
as
should.
their social media guy.
Do you think it's possible? Because someone asked me this yesterday, and I don't think this is possible because knowing the kind of environment Tua has been in for the last couple of years, like trolling him would be like from internally trolling him would be unforgivable. But a couple of a couple of people asked me yesterday if they did it on purpose, just because they knew it would get like a lot of conversation and impression. But like, how could you do that to the guy with everything he's had to deal with the last couple of
You
years?
know who the videographer was?
Brian Flores.
Exactly. Now, let me. I'll give my rational take, and then I'll give my conspiracy take. But
Okay.
which one do you want first?
Conspiracy take. If I don't even know if I need to hear the rational take, but start with the conspiracy take.
All right, all right, folks. All right, this is coming in. Breaking news from my source. My sourcing. It was practice, and I think they realized it to troll everyone, and it worked. That throw from Tua Tagovailoa to Tyreek Hill, one of the fastest athletes, one of the fastest NFL wide receivers in the world, the cheetah. It was practice, right? We're
Mhm.
talking about practice here, people. Practice. I think they released it. Dolphins social media team released it to troll everyone, and it worked. Well, folks, we don't even know if it was one complete video. They could have stitched it using TikTok
I
Stitcher.
think there was a second thrower from the grassy knoll. Teddy Bridgewater probably threw it off to the side. That was who
We
threw it.
saw in the frame that Teddy Bridgewater, just a millisecond of Teddy Bridgewater's hair and number 5 jersey. That could be it, Alex. But there's more, folks. Just wait. The NFL season hasn't even started yet.
Give me the rational take before we got to run.
It's practice, bro. I,
Yeah.
I saw a tweet based. Oh man, my throat. Oof, that took a lot of it. I tried to do the J. Jonas Jameson voice from Spider-Man Far From
The,
Home and Spider-Man
oh
Far From
yeah.
Home. I
Yeah.
tried to do that with the J. Jonah Jameson Alex Jones version. I hope it wasn't too loud.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
He sounds like a guy. Oh man. But look, man, it's practice. He's probably practicing that elite Joe Flacco throwing the ball where the receiver has to come back and get it, but a defensive back is running 21 miles per hour, full speed. Receiver has to go back,
It's a good
grab it.
call.
The defensive back goes right into the receiver. Up, DPI,
Yeah.
extra 50 yards, go down the field straight up. Easy field goal. You can get an easy touchdown as well.
Huh. I hadn't even thought about that. That's a crazier theories have been thrown out there than that one.
That's my rational take. Bro. It's just a throw. Like people
Yeah.
were also salivating last season. They throw to, I think it was Will Fuller last season in practice as well. It was like one of those rocket arm throws that people were like, "Oh my God, Bama Tua is back! Bama Tua is back! Bama Tua is back!" But now they're saying Bama Tua is back. Just give me Tua, bro. Just give me Tua.
Pierre Lewis is saying, and Hussam came in with us when he came on, the Dolphins versus Pats week 1. Anything else has been
Oh
reliably leaked
yes,
from the
week
schedule?
9 again. Week 9 in Chicago.
Oh, I did see that one. I did see that, and I forgot about that. Okay. Week 9 in Chi-Town. All right. So that'll do it, my friends. Got to head out. Hussam, why don't you plug where people can find you? Twitter at Hussam Patel. Are you
Yeah.
doing any other shows? Any writing this week?
Um, Writing. I'm thinking about putting a Cam Good scouting report, just how he fits to the Miami Dolphins. I already have Channing Tindall and Eric Ezukanma on site as well. This Saturday, I'm bringing Thor on, not the Marvel god Thor.
Oh, too
Thor
bad.
from NBC Sports Edge.
Oh, he's good. Thor, yeah, he's from like Minnesota. He's got a big beard. I love that guy. I've interviewed him before. I'm gonna watch that for sure. I'm actually finally gonna watch your stuff now.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll be on. He wasn't on the 5 Reasons Sports Network with me, but he was when I was doing the podcast outside
Mm-hmm.
of the network. So he'll be on soon. Saturday, I'm hoping around 11 a.m., 12 p.m., depending on Thor's availability, my availability. So
Yeah, you got to with Thor. You work around his schedule, right? That's the way you do it.
exactly. Like you have to work around my schedule
Yeah,
because I'm the big dog here at at 5 Reasons Sports.
yeah.
But look out for that. Also look out for some other pretty big, cool, nerdy guests as well throughout the off season, talking about the draft, some college stuff as well, and maybe I'll share a Tyler Van Dyke article as well.
Ooh. Well, and you know what, Hussam, if you do a Tyler Van Dyke article, that would give me an excuse to bring you on Locked On Canes, and then we can talk about that because the people love TVD content. So we
I
can
got you, man. I got you.
yeah.
I got you. You know what? Maybe the Tyler Van Dyke article may go up later today.
Okay. Well, then how about we get together Monday for a little Locked On Canes action because I've already got my my
I work
Friday
Monday.
show.
I work
Okay,
Monday.
Tuesday then because
I
my
work
Friday,
Tuesday.
yeah. Oh, you
I work
loser.
Wednesday.
But this, I will work around your schedule for that because I taped that show. That show doesn't have to be live, so I will work around your schedule.
Exactly. And I will work around your schedule too, Donno.
You won't, but it's okay because I'll work around yours. All right, awesome stuff there by Hussam. Thank you, Concerned Citizen. See, I don't have time for all the shout outs today, so I guess Concerned Citizen just gets preferential treatment, and everybody else who's been in here, Alex M, Cap for Life, Shake Money. I thought George Michael was in here, but George Michelle says, "Are you guys bilingual?" Because
Didn't
all I'm
George
hearing is "Go
Michael
talk."
pass
He
away?
did. He passed away a couple years ago. Yeah,
My mom
yeah.
liked his music.
I like I mean I wasn't like a big enough like Wham George Michael fan to know like the deep tracks, but I liked a lot of his hits. In fact,
Mm.
I've often said this, one of my favorite pop Christmas songs is Last Christmas, Give You My Heart. It's a
The
Wham
very
song. I
next
love that.
day, gave it
It's a
away.
great song. I actually hot take here, but I like that song better than the Mariah Carey song. Also good, but I will take Last Christmas over All I Want for Christmas Is You. Love them both. Last Christmas gets the edge for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
no
not
5 rounds,
Christmas
no,
much.
no 5 rounds tonight, Alex. By the way, we're gonna be back in a couple of weeks because I'm going to be traveling tonight and the next couple of days. So we will be back in a couple of weeks, sir. All right, that'll do it for us. Huge shout out to so I don't know what happened to Big John Stud. I'm a little bit worried about him because I thought we were all set for 215. He seemed very excited and I don't and then like I couldn't like during the show I can't be like, hey, are you okay or whatever. I'm focusing on the show, so I got to figure out what happened to Big John Stud. We'll talk to him a little bit later. We will talk to you guys again next time on another episode of Donno Daily on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. Hold on, looking for that outro. Looking for the outro. This is what happens when Manny Chang leaves me high and dry for like the 52nd consecutive week. All right, we'll talk to you guys again. I will not be on tomorrow. I will be traveling. We'll be back next week on Donno Daily on the 5 Reasons Sports Network. See ya.